proposed development that would be at Main and Douglas. Now, as I've said, no matter what the commission approves at Main and Douglas, will probably be, taken down the street and tarred and feathered, because it's obviously right in the middle of our town. And so what we do there is very important and very sensitive. But this is a proposal that's, I think it's the third or fourth time there's been something proposed there, maybe the fifth. But it has gone to local planning agency. It will be coming to the commission in December. You probably want to tune in and just kind of see it. But again, I think the commission's done a lot of things over the last 5 years or so actually 20 years, to improve the code to give us the most control that we can possibly have in developments. But again, there's property rights and there's the city's ability to, ensure that we do what we can for the citizens. So, but tune in. Highlander Pool, we just talked about the Highlander Pool complex on Tuesday. And Highlander Pool is our only pool, as I've said. It's Florida, it's hot. We have a lot of homes in our 37,000 population that don't have pools. We want to have that ability to get in a pool, affordable to all of our residents. We've needed to replace the pool for a long time. It's on our signature list for our Penny for Pinellas for this decade. We are hoping to be able to do it in this decade. It's probably one of our last big projects when you look at the community center and Martin Luther King Center, City Hall, things like that. And we want to do it. We want to do it right. We're going to be soliciting in the next few months input. There'll be community sessions that you can give input. There'll be surveys where you can give input. We've done a lot of this stuff over the years, but we want that kind of final hoorah before we make a final decision. But we really want it to be nice. The only thing I ask is in the community input sessions, just go and say we want a lazy river, because that's what I want. We won't be able to serve pina coladas for the lazy river, but and of course we're going to be discussing the golf club on November 30th at our session. And if you've been following the golf club, there was a sustainability report done on it that should be available on our website, right, Jennifer? Go and read it. It's got some interesting information about how we can protect this amazing asset. And I know it's a little early, but opening day for Toronto Blue Jays is going to be February 27th, 2022. I see Ken, so I had to say it. And so we'll be able to be welcoming back our Canadian visitors for baseball at that time, even though they're starting to come back. So we're excited about that. And of course, we all know special events are back. And, let's hope that we really are at the light at the end of the tunnel coming with COVID. I mean, I think it'll be around forever, but hopefully it'll be controlled and we can still have our fun stuff. But we've got all kind of stuff coming in it. Dunedin Wines and Blues the other night was amazing. And hopefully we can just continue to open up our events safely and responsibly and have fun, because that's what we do well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Susan, Dunedin Youth Guild time.
Yes.
And Youth Guild is our spotlight for this month.
Thank you so much. It is my privilege and honor to be able to represent the Youth Guild today. This organization is so dear to my heart, and we have done so much for the children of this community. I don't know if you realize what the Youth Guild does, but they raise money for all sorts of children's organizations within the school and without the school, and scholarships, and not just vocational scholarships, but or not just academic scholarships. We do vocational scholarships and turnaround scholarships. We do a lot, and it's all focused on the youth of Dunedin. And you can live in Dunedin, but attend a school maybe that's not in Dunedin, maybe it's in Palm Harbor, and you would still be eligible for a Dunedin scholarship. So this year we have our tour of homes. This is our 52nd tour of homes. And it is going to be unique because last year we had a virtual tour of homes because of COVID. So we still had one. It was just a little different. And it was, you could look at it across America, which was really fantastic, I thought, you know, because my relatives, I always tell them about it and what's going on, but they've never had the chance to experience it. So with the virtual and the way that we did it, they were able to see it. So that was a plus. Now, this year, it's called Let's Gather Together One Way or Another. And that's what we are going to do. We have 4 homes this year. We have our Dunedin Fine Art Center, which will be on our tour. And outside of the art center, there will be 2 pods. Okay. Now, I know you're thinking, a pod, really? Okay. But they're used if I know in whenever FEMA comes in and people don't have homes, they use these pods. And another person was telling me that doesn't live in this state. They live in another state, but they were saying that they use these pods and they put them near a church or community center. And the homeless people, they give them a place to stay there so that they can sleep in these pods, but yet use the facilities in the community center or whatever, which I thought I'd never heard of that, but I thought that was kind of a good deal. When the shelters and everything get full, where do you go? I mean, where do these homeless people go? I thought it was a good idea. Anyway, the pods we're going to have 2 pods that are decorated for Christmas. It's going to be so much fun. And then we're going to have 4 RVs. RVs are a big thing now. Everybody wants to get out and travel with their family, want to be safe. And how more can you be safe is to travel with your family together. Perfect. So we are going to have 4 RVs that you can go in and see. They're going to be decorated. They're all going to be decorated. And we are also going to have our tea. We did not have a tea last year, of course, because of the virtual. But this year we are going to have a tea, and it will be held at the Hale Center. So when you're done looking at all the wonderful homes, come and have tea and cookies and shop. We have a boutique. You can shop and get all your Christmas shopping done. And we have vendors that will also be there that have different things other than we have in our boutique. So you'll have a wonderful variety to look through. And we also have a silent auction, and you can win a tree decorated for Christmas for the low, low price of a ticket of $2. Now, where else could you possibly get a whole decorated tree for $2? The Youth Guild. There you go. Anyway, we are going to have 5 different trees that you can choose from. And you buy tickets and then you just put them in wherever. And we're going to have baskets that you can also, decorated baskets of wines and cheeses and things. You can put your little tickets in those and maybe win those too for $2. Really? You can't hardly buy anything like that for $2. So the tickets themselves are $25. This is the ticket. You must have this with you when you come. Keep this. This is your ticket because we are going to go through and check off. So this isn't just for information, which it has a lot of information in it, and a lot of our supporters in it, and advertisers. By the way, you people are absolutely fabulous with the advertising. I mean, each and every one of you are just phenomenal. The way that you continue to support the Guild with your donations and your advertising and your table sponsorships, all those types of things help us do the good work we do for our kids. And then we are going to have, this will be, I'm sorry, I'm regressing. The tickets are $25. It will be held December the 4th on Saturday from 10 o'clock till 3:30. I wrote that down so I'd get it right. And then, I have a list of many things that the Youth Guild sponsors. I don't know if you want me to go through all of them. The Highlander band, the high school band, the pipe band, the cheerleading team, the swim team, the step team, youth soccer, softball, baseball, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, Naval Base, the Sea Cadets at the U.S. Naval Academy, football camp, the vocational skills department. And, those are just a few of the things that we do. Then we partner, this too. We partner with the city and the county with Close to Kids and diaper drives and Dunedin Cares and school supply drives. So our women in this youth guild are really phenomenal ladies. And that's why I get very emotional about it, because they give their time, their talents, their efforts, their energies go into supporting the future, which is our children of Dunedin. And that is unbelievable. And I know you think when you get a bunch of ladies together, maybe not so much, huh? You get a little problem over here, a little problem over there. Not so much. These ladies focus totally on the end result, which is the kids. It's all about the kids. And we don't want to ever forget that. We also have, we partner with the city on our Christmas parade, which is coming up the 11th. And that's going to be fun. Actually, the Youth Guild started the Christmas parade, and it got so big and so wonderful that we had to partner with the city because we needed their help and cooperation to get it all taken care of. So we also volunteer to line up the different floats and marching teams and bands and all that go into our parade. So that is something else that the Youth Guild does. We also have coming up. Am I off? Am I? Can I say one more thing?
Yes, you can.
I'm sorry. I get carried away. I just wanted to let you know to mark on your calendars, ladies, March 19th, we're having our luncheon and fashion show. It will be at the community center. I'll hurry. Community center. And we are going to have hospice do our fashions this year, which I am very excited about. So you have two organizations that are going to benefit from one event. Can't get better than that. And so if you can, please join us in the Youth Guild. We would love to have you. And I will.
Yes, I must do a shout out to Youth Guild also. Because when she was talking about the Dunedin High School, the work they do there is amazing. I'm on the Arc Academy Advisory Board, and the Dunedin Youth Guild has helped the robotics program out there for the past 2 years. They've helped us upgrade our PCs 2 years ago, and this past year they helped us we're starting a new underwater robotics program there, which Sea-Perch is one of the things she's talking about, which is associated with the U.S. Navy. So we're very excited about that program. And this year they helped us buy 3D printers, because you sit there and think, we need a 3D printer for? Well, a 3D printer, they can now print all their own parts. They don't have to buy them anymore. All they have to do is just buy the material that goes into the 3D printer, and it prints itself. In fact, I shared with Susan a video yesterday I made, because I supported American Teaching yesterday at the high school. And I took a video of the 3D printers at work. They run them 24/7. Printing parts. It's amazing at how they work. But a big shout out to them. It's just a wonderful program of what they do and what they support. But at this point, I'd like to introduce our sponsor. Yeah, listen, Jeff. Sorry, Jeff. She took all your time.
I'm sorry.
Y'all might know this guy. That $4 exchange. It's Jeff Rhodes' guy. Some of you may know him, but he's a great supporter of our community. Jeff, the floor is yours.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's great to be here this morning. It's great to be back and see y'all. And I got to tell you, it's kind of hard for a car salesman to follow the Youth Guild. So I'm going to give it a try. And I guess I'll start with, I'm Jeff Rhodes, of course, and I'm AKA Dr. Credit. I think I probably know a few of you in this room. I'm the owner of Florida Auto Exchange, Florida Auto Service Center, and Rent a Used Car Rental. You may not know that those are all kind of connected. I think most of you know where we're located. We're located on the corner of Main Street and Belcher, a slightly used corner in the eastern part of Dunedin. I opened up in 1988, a few short 33 years ago. We sell used cars, trucks, and vans, and SUVs. We primarily sell new car dealer trades. We strive to get the best, lowest mile, cleanest vehicles we can buy. Then we safety check them, repair what's needed, and thoroughly clean them. We then stand behind them. All our vehicles are sold with warranties. Where we differ from new car dealers is we sell to everybody, or any other car dealer. We sell to everybody. What I mean by that is we can sell you no matter what your credit is. And a lot of people think that the home of Dr. Credit, we only sell cars to people with bad credit. That's not true. We sell cars to everybody. And frankly, we sell the best cars that you're going to find out there. If you drive around and you look around and you see other used car lots, ask them an important question. Where's your service department? And 99% of them are going to say, oh, they're going to go on to something else, because there is no service department. They buy a car, they wash it up, and they sell it. And then you're kind of on your own. We're a little different than that. Every car that we sell has a warranty. And most of the cars are available to buy extended service warranties. So we take care of all of our customers that we sell. And we do it better, I think, than anybody else. And we can finance anybody. So if you come in to buy a car from us, whether you have good credit, bad credit, no credit, you can still drive out in the car of your choice with a warranty. And we pledge that we will work as hard every day after the sale as we did to earn your business. At Florida Auto Service Center, no matter what we do to prepare the car for delivery, vehicles still break down. God doesn't build these things. They're built by General Motors, Ford, or even BMW or Mercedes. And I got to tell you, they got a million moving parts in all of them, and gee, they break. So And most of the time they break without warning. So all of a sudden you're driving along, you're on vacation, you're doing what you're doing, and boop, your car stops. But in any event, we pledge to try our best to get your car into our service department quickly and get the vehicle repaired the right way the first time at a fair price. So if you buy a car from us, we'll never tell you that your car's not going to break, because that would be lying to you, because it's going to break at some time. But we tell you, please bring your car back to us. Let us take a look at it, and we'll get your car back on the road at a fair price. That's our service department, Florida Auto Service. It's just right across the street and catty-cornered across the street from us. And we not only do we service our own cars at Florida Auto Service, we service everybody's car at Florida Auto Service. You just bring it in if you need some service, and we take really good care of you. And we have a lightning lane oil change. If you need to get your oil changed, you can just come right in. There's no waiting. We'll run you right through, and we're a lot cheaper than everybody else in town. And so we can take care of you as far as that goes. If the need arises for us to keep your vehicle overnight, we have rent-a-used car rental at your disposal if you choose. Our rentals are clean, service, dependable, and priced at a fraction of the price of a new car rental at Hertz or Avis, of any of those. And maybe if you haven't heard, rentals today are pretty hard to come by, and they're quite expensive. But we do have a fleet of rental cars. They're used car rentals. And this rental car company was started in 1979 and is still in the same business. It was in the same building as it was then. So it's been in business for a long, long time. So we can service you as far as selling you a car. We can service you in a car, and we can give you a rental car if the need arises. And you're talking about the Blue Jays coming into town. Not only do those Blue Jay fans come from the north, and they're able to come in now, they also rent a lot of our cars, and they rent them for the season. So we have a lot of Dunedin residents that have property, Canadian residents that have property here in Dunedin. And not only do they go and see all those great Blue Jays games, they come and they rent their cars. Those rent-a-used car rental cars are in the parking lot of that beautiful stadium we have. Everything we do at our companies is customer driven. We understand that we are nothing without you, the customer. Our main goal is to provide a quality product and at a good value to make you happy and keep you that way. We'll work hard to earn your business and even harder to maintain it. I know a lot of you have used one or more of our services, and we are grateful. Thank you so much. If you are happy, tell a friend or a neighbor or a relative. If you're unhappy, all you need to do is call me. I'm there all the time, and I'll find out what the problem is, and we'll make you happy. Dr. Credit and I hope to see you soon. On your tables, there's a whole bunch of brochures that you see for all the different services that we offer. And there's some fake money. And it's not counterfeit money, it's fake money. And it is spendable. All you got is spendable in our service department. If you want to give us a try, if you haven't used this already, come down. You can use that. It's Florida Auto Bucks. Bring them on down, and they'll help offset anything that you have to pay on your final invoice. But we certainly appreciate all your business that you've given me over the years. Been a long time, and it's really great to just see all the familiar faces. You know, been in this town a long time, and it's a great place to be, and it's even getting better all the time. So thank you all.
Well, this time I'd like to introduce our program. Captain Garrett, if you would join me. We have three separate programs that the Sheriff's Department put on today. We cannot call it mini camp or police camp or academy, but I'm going to turn the floor over to him. I hope you all enjoy the program today.
Good morning. We do have three separate areas we're going to talk to you about. I introduced two or three already. First one will be the community policing unit. I'll talk a little bit about them. Basically, what the easiest way I can describe the community policing deputies are, they are your long-term solutions. They respond to areas that, patrol deputies might be able to get out there. They have calls holding. They're able to fix the situation for the night. But what's the long-term solution? How do we stop us from having to go out there? How do we address city needs in talking with city officials and stuff like that? Well, that's what your community policing deputies do. If hot calls come out, they do respond to calls for service, but typically they're able to invest the time, and most of them feel like they're part of the communities, and most of them are embedded in the communities for the long-term solutions. I always attribute it, the patrol deputies get called to a disorderly intoxicated person. So they get out there, the person's drunk, they're yelling and screaming, patrol puts them in handcuffs, take them to detox, or take them to the jail. Well, they're back out there 2 nights later. Well, how do we fix that? That's when the community policing deputies get involved in there, and they find out what's the root of the problem. Does the person have substance abuse? Do we have programs available? So that way we're not responding out there. They address your traffic concerns. I've been in Pinellas County 43 years, and we have the same traffic concerns we had 43 years ago. We just got more people. But they address your traffic concerns. They address the barking dog complaints. They address, neighbors not getting along. They are embedded in your community. If you see a lot of the events, we talked about the wine and blues. They're the ones you see on the bicycles, riding around on the golf carts and stuff like that. So that's our community policing unit. The 2 other units we're going to bring up today, and I apologize, I've got another appointment, so I'm going to be leaving after introducing them. But one's our mental health unit. It started several years ago, and last year it increased to a pilot program. And we work in conjunction with other agencies. And that's when we mix the law enforcement with the civilians. And they ride together. We have a civilian navigator supervisors here and the corporal in charge of the unit. So they'll be talking to you for about 5 to 10 minutes, Don. All right. And then what does everybody love? The dogs. Deputy Edge is in the back, and he's got his canine friend with him. And then he'll talk to you about the canine unit. We're going to bring him in, and we'll bring him in and let you play with them. They are awesome. You would never think they're police dogs, but they're fantastic. Everybody wants to see the dog. Everybody, whenever I go to these, they're like, okay, go sit down. We want to see the dogs. So I'm going to bring up Don and Amanda first, and then Alex will come up right after. Thank you again. I'm glad we're back, and I'll look forward to seeing everybody around the community. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Can everybody hear me? Yeah. Like the captain said, my name is Don Clace. I am the corporal assigned to the mental health unit. This is Amanda. I'm going to let her talk for a little bit as well. We're going to keep it short because if you're like me, I'm here to see the dog too. So we're going to keep ours short. The captain told you that we expanded our program about a year ago. We're coming up on our year-long anniversary. And what we do is we partner with civilian staff. Right now we have 6 deputies. We have 2 Clearwater police officers that are assigned to our unit. And then we have 8 CRSs is what we call them. They're crisis response specialists. I'm going to let Amanda tell you about them and what they do.
So, good morning. Thanks for having us. So I'm Amanda Farrell. I'm the clinical supervisor of the unit. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. So the sheriff last year decided that he wanted to bring civilians in-house that were clinicians. So we have 8 civilians. They range from bachelor's level case managers all the way up to licensed clinicians. And each day they ride around in the vehicles with our deputies. So they have the deputy and the counselor out there responding to active calls coming in. We pretty much cover the area from 580 Tampa Road down to Park Boulevard now. So we're in 2 squads. So any calls that come through the comm center that are related to mental health issues, domestic violence, suicidal subjects, our unit gets called out. And they try to divert the Baker Act. So they're trying to get them linked with services in the community to eliminate that crisis at that time. And our unit, what they do is they build rapport with these clients and they get them linked with additional services. So they know that, they can call the police and be able to get the assistance they need. So the great thing about riding with the deputies is that we have different tools and resources at our hands that we're able to gather more collateral information that as a clinician, I wouldn't be able to just get if someone came into my private practice. So it's really great collaboration that we have. I work with Corporal Place and Sergeant Bowman in our unit to manage everything to ensure that we're, communicating and meeting the needs of the community.
When it comes to mental health out in the community, I would say that law enforcement is probably the least likely people that should be dealing with it. All right. Law enforcement, when we go through the academy, we maybe take one section on mental health, and that's it. So, and if you're talking about someone like me, that was 25 years ago. All right. So what the sheriff did recognize that we need to bring people in that know how to deal with these situations, and that's where they come in. We're there for them, and they do a really good job. All right. Any questions? No?
Thank you.
You guys want to see the dog, don't you? All right. Thank you very much.
In just a minute, let me let him go potty. We'll be right back.
Last night, I brought my service dog, West Highland Jerry.
Good, I got it.
I call him service dog. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so we were up last night. But anyway, yeah, came out of. Yeah. Anyway, so
Right now, I don't have. But it just, that's
it's not,
you're not.
and it's good, but yeah, we're not home tonight. We also don't want to be painting right now. Anyway, hey, here you go.
Yay.
All right.
So I'm not going to use the microphone. I'll speak up. You guys need to speak louder. My name's Deputy Ed. I obviously work with the sheriff's office. If you have any questions, just call me Alex. This is K9 Yoda. Everybody thinks I'm a Star Wars fan. I'm not. When I got him, his ears were straight out to the side. He was the ugliest thing I've ever seen, and I didn't know what else. Finally, here's the this is my partner Yoda. So I think a lot of people. What's cool about coming to events like this is I think a lot of people have in their head a predisposition to what a police dog is. It's pacing back and forth in the car and baring their teeth and barking. He's not even allowed to bark in the car. He can't bark at home. He can't bark unless I tell him to bark. So we instill a great deal of obedience in these dogs because K9's actually the most the most dangerous job in all of law enforcement. So all of our dogs, we have right now 13 dogs, K1 through K15. We don't have a K9. That would be too confusing on the radio. So we skip K8 to K10. And we've got an opening right now for a tryout that we got coming up. So we've got 13 dogs. All of them start off in a patrol training aspect, which means when you guys have these burglars that come, pull on your door handles and take your belongings out of your car and then run on foot, Yoda's job is to put his nose down, track that human odor. I run with a much longer leash behind him, and we go find that bad guy for you. Yoda's also trained to do article searches, area searches, and building searches, which briefly, that just means Walmart has a burglar that breaks in. They can see him on camera. They don't know where he went, but we don't need to send a whole troop of deputies in there. We can send the dog in. He can use his nose, find him like that. It keeps us a lot safer, right? Yoda's a 3-year-old Belgian Malinois. He's also an idiot. He loves attention. So when we're done, if you want to pet him, you're more than welcome to. These dogs, basically, why we instill that obedience in them, and we'll do a little bit of a demo with that, is because in a high stress situation, I need him to listen to me, right? When the stakes are high, we chase the worst of the worst. Georgia, to Alaska, we've got people that flee, they come to our state, and they land somehow in Pinellas County, and they just committed homicides or whatever the case may be. When those people run on foot, I need him to listen to me. So we'll start with obedience. I'll show you guys some of the stuff he can do, and then we'll answer any questions if you have any. If he runs to you, he's not going to bite you, I promise. The only thing he does is he gives hugs, and the hug is over when he says it is. So he might just kind of hold on awkward like a bad date. So a lot of people ask us, like, does he have a stay command? He doesn't. We don't have a stay command because once we tell these dogs to do something, they just do it till we free them up out of that position, right? So if I tell him to sit, he can sit there all night. He doesn't. He knows. Dad hasn't said yes. Dad also hasn't given me my favorite toy. So we start these dogs. They're $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 coming from Europe. They don't know their names when they get here. They don't know anything. 5 months later, canine school. We get done. They're a full-blown police dog, and we train them with food initially, just feeding them little bits of kibble like you would with your dog, and then we graduate to a toy so that we can practice an out. If a dog bites a suspect, we need him. We're responsible for that dog, and although he's done what we need him to do, we need to get him off the bite quickly. So with a tug toy, we can practice that. And Yoda knows this is his favorite thing in the world. He knows if he bites this without me telling him yes, he's in trouble, right? But if I tell him yes, so we want to reward this behavior, he's immediately going to bite it. He's not going to let go until we tell him to. Sit. So I'm sure you've seen the helicopters flying around Dunedin sometimes. Good sit. You'll hear me interrupt talking to humans to talk to the dog. We just call that a bridge. So I like the behavior you're doing. I want you to continue doing it, but we're not done yet, right? Sit. Good sit. If you've seen that helicopter, most of the time you see them, they're out and circling because we're out. So at night, we've got one dog that works during the day, a little less crime that we might need a dog for during the day. At night, we've got 5 dogs working because all over the county we could have something going on. Good sit. Good boy. He's coming off his weekend and he's just excited. I know, that's good. That's good. We have to pay him when we like what they're doing. Yes. Good set. When that helicopter's up, most of the time they're watching us. So we're tracking with the dogs. At night they use their and I won't do a helicopter demo, but why I bring that up is because a lot of people come out, they see the helicopter, wow, what's he doing? Let me step outside my yard, let's check it out. We ask, at least in the canine unit, good sit. We ask that you don't do that and stay inside, because now that you know if he's up, we're out, you're just putting your human odor into your yard where the bad guy may have run. So we might get in the backyard and now we've got a lot of extra odor to work through because the bad guy ran through your yard. You didn't know it. You were inside. You heard the helicopter, came out, and then all of a sudden we're working through a bunch of different odors. But we give these dogs commands verbally and by hand because when he's overhead, he may not hear me. If that makes sense. So like a down position, we could go with our hand to the down. We could go sit, or we could do it verbally, down, sit, back and forth, right? We track along US 19. We've got all this traffic in Pinellas County. There's a lot of outside noise that we need these dogs to listen to us, whether they can hear us or not. Part of the state standards for a canine unit, at least in the state of Florida, is that he maintains a heel. And if you don't know what a heel is, it just means he puts his right shoulder next to my left leg and stays there, almost like he's on a leash, with no leash. Heel. So we should be able to go anywhere. It's a little tight. I'm not going to snake through you guys. But he knows he can't leave this position until we're done. Heel. Okay. That's good. Good boy. Dad hasn't said yes yet. Yes. You guys have any questions?
Yeah.
If we can train them, your dog would be a breeze. What
other breeds do you have?
So this is funny. Post 9/11, with Saddam Hussein and Bin Laden, those SEAL teams used Malinois. That's what blew up the scene with Malinois. So everybody said, well, the Navy SEALs, they're cool, and they're using the Malinois. And that breed started getting out there. It was a little harder to get just the shepherds and not have some kind of mix of Malinois in there. So we do, we do have just German shepherds. We do have just Malinois, and we have the mixes. He is only 65 pounds, but what these suspects do, they'll break into a backyard or car, they'll flee, they'll jump in, a yard, and we've got over 1 million people in this county. Everybody has fences. So if a suspect goes over a fence, guess where we're going?
Yeah.
Over the fence, right? So why I like him being a little smaller, and I don't actually mind it, is because he's 64 pounds. He's, but if he's 90 and we get to fence number 5 and I'm sucking wind, it's just a little easier because eventually he'll tire out and I have to start throwing him.
They'll jump the first couple of ones.
They will. These dogs will work. So we pick these dogs and train them. We train them to be, if you can picture a wolf pack, we've got the alpha, and that's where dogs come from. The struggle with a new handler and a canine is he needs to think that he's the alpha over everything but me. But at home, that's like dealing with a teenager who's starting to come up and he wants to try you, Good.
You take him home?
Oh yeah, so he will live and die with me. He stays at my house. I feed him, I bathe him, I take him to the vet, I do everything. None of that's on my bill. The sheriff covers that. And the nice part about it is once they're home and you're spending all this time with them, I spend way more time with him than I do with anybody else, 40, 50 hours a week. So that bond we have is close. But ultimately, and this is the hard part about canine, he's cute and he does these different tricks. The hard part is ultimately they may be used to sacrifice themselves to save a deputy. And it's important. I like him. I don't love him. We need to get other deputies home to their families. And if he needs to go in a building and encounters a bad guy and something happens to him, that's one less person. We can't replace lives. We can't replace dogs. So they really are incredible. And I'm fortunate to be in this unit. Very grateful that I get to work with them. But they're goofballs.
How much does the dog like that cost?
They're about 12 grand, 13 grand. So
And you train them.
And then we train them. That's when they come. They don't know anything. Yeah, at the start, they don't know their names. They don't know how to come. So the first couple of days of canine school is ugly. We've got 100-foot long leashes, if you can picture that. And they're all the way on the other side of the field, and we're yelling come while we're pulling them. It's not automatic like it is now. So the in-between product is a lot different than the beginning. Yeah.
I would assume there's a lot of competition for your job. What's the criteria to be a canine officer?
Huge. So the competition is huge. So I'll just say I was not supposed to be here. I was supposed to go make my parents proud and go to law school. Both my brothers, my one brother's a dentist, the other one's an engineer, and I chase a dog for a living. So but this was my dream job. So I got here, I thought I was going to take my degree, do my 2 years, and I wanted to go federal. And then Year one, I started running with the other canine handlers as backup. We'll take a backup with us to run with us. And I got addicted. I'm like, what? The adrenaline rush was too much for me to overcome. So I forgot all the rest of that. I forgot the rest of that. The qualifications are you've got to have some experience, okay? And then two, we have the most physically demanding tryout of any position at our agency because you can't afford to get tired. If you have a loved one that's stabbed or shot and that guy ran that way and he's going to get him and he'll work till he dies to get him, I can't be holding him back. I can't be an anchor, right? So the tryout's rigorous. I did 3 tryouts before I ended up getting it. We've had some handlers do 6 just to get there. It's extremely competitive. This next tryout we have coming up for the open spot, we're expecting it to be pretty large because, it's a coveted position. And most of the time, if you go into canine, you're not going anywhere else. So I don't even know how many years I have left till I retire. I only know I have 3 dogs. So you saw one, I'll get 2 more, and then I'll be done.
How old is he? How long have you had him?
I've had him for 2 years.
When do you retire?
8, 9. When their hips give out, we give them a pill called Dasequin. It's just a joint pill, like all old men need to take.
What's that bill called?
It's a little blue pill. That actually extends what we found that extends the life of their hips for like another year. So if they had 8 years, it'll almost give them 9. When their teeth give out, when their hips give out, it's time for them to retire. And then you've got a lovely 2 years of here comes dog number 2. Well, old dog's at home watching dad go to work with dog number 2, and that's rough on him because hey, that's my dad. Who are you? You're the new guy. So there's a little bit of in between. So yeah, 9 years, 8 years, 9 years.
So you would keep him after he's retired?
Where's he gonna go? Yeah, he's a lot of people ask, should we take him in? He's so well behaved. I'd love to have him. He doesn't know anything else. There's a million people in here. We just did demos at a senior citizens home, and we just did 4-year-olds yesterday, and all these people want to give him love, and he's just looking at me, and I'm like, go. There's so he doesn't know anything else. So I would love to get rid of him when dog 2 comes. He's mine. Yeah.
How long is the training process, and how do you know when they're fully trained and ready to go?
So there's a couple things the state cares about more than we care about. Honestly, I care about catching the rabbit. That chasing the rabbit is that's what drives me, and that's what he wants too. But the state says you need to have just try to activate us, right? Dad, you're not looking at me. Can I sit her down? The state says we need to do a couple different things. One of them is a building search to be able to find somebody inside a building. They don't care about tracking, which is what we actually do care about. And then our highest liability, if you can picture this, and it's happened to me before, our highest liability is with something called recall. And recall is, you're the bad guy, okay? You've taken off on foot for me, you just murdered somebody. I've released Yoda, and he's inbound, he's coming to bite you. All of a sudden, you look over your shoulder, and you see him, and you give up. Right? You might have thought at night that I was bluffing. You see this dog. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I want nothing. And you throw your hands up. It's my responsibility to recall Yoda. He's doing 1,000,000 miles an hour towards you, but he will put the brakes on, turn around, and run back towards me. Because technically you were running, and technically now you are giving up, right? So the state says that these dogs need to be able to recall immediately. So they'll be inbound. When you see those big fluffy suits that we do with the bike suits, we have those, and we have bike sleeves where the guy's running. And then we'll call that dog back, which if you can imagine for him, all he wants is to go bite that, right? And he's got to turn around and come back to me, and I'll have a stupid toy. It's not as, so the state says we need to do that, and then the other thing is healing next to us without the leash. Besides that, once they qualify, then we make them police dogs. Then we start doing fun stuff, and I'll put you in a bite suit, and then I'll put you in the bay, right? And then we'll send the dog out in the water, and he can bite you in the bite suit, stuff like that. Realistic stuff that we might run into in town.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
What about vacations? Are you allowed to go anywhere without him on a trip?
So he can't come anywhere with me, so he'll stay at our kennels. But the nice part is There's 13 other guys that are just like me, passionate about these dogs, and they'll watch them. So anybody that's on duty while I'm off, if I want to take vacation, I can't just send them to another kennel or tell my neighbor to watch them. It's a lot, you know, they're a pain. So we've got nice kennels there that get food and, like for example, if you guys are on Facebook, you've probably seen Taco Tuesday. I don't know if you've seen that.
Yeah.
So that is a Malinois. He's cross-eyed. He's kind of funny looking. That's Taco. So Taco's last vacation that his handler took, he hurt his paw, and I was working. So I put him in the kennels. I took Taco to the vet, got him wrapped up, got him his medicine, brought him back to the kennel. So, you know what I mean? It's my responsibility to look after, and then we just rotate like that. And then when I retire, say I'm done and I just want to go, I'm a big golfer. If I want to go golf and take a 2-week golf trip, guys, can you watch him? They'll watch him when I'm retired as well. Yeah, it's a big family. We're the only, at least that I know of, unit where nobody comes in our building. We clean our own toilets, we do all our own janitorial because we've got, you know, these guys are important to us and we don't want just a bunch of access to these dogs in there. So that little building is kind of sacred to us, if that makes sense. Yeah.
So down there at the sheriff's headquarters, you got your own building?
We do. It's a little bit further down on 102nd Avenue, over by the interstate. 102nd Avenue and 275. It's right over there. It's right where our shooting range is. If you've ever done the Citizens Academy, yeah, it's a big building over there. So, anybody else?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Just a comment.
Sure.
When you said you like him but you don't love him, I'm just not sure I believe that.
I do love him. It's hard because I'd cry for a week if anything happened to him, right? But it's not. You can't even measure it. He's still an animal compared to a human life. He's still an animal. So
he still has to do his job, and you have to
he still has to do his job. Just like we may sacrifice our lives so that you may live. But if we can, and that's a lot. We do training with the new recruits, and we hone into them. Guys, if you can use us, use us. All we do is train. We train 40, 50 hours a week. You let the dog work if it'll keep you safer. I want them going home to their families, you know, and he doesn't know the difference. He's just like, am I making dad happy today or not? You know, but in the end, when they see these dogs, you know, get injured or killed, they're making a sacrifice to keep a human safer. Yeah, I do love him. I do love him.
How do you get along how does he get along with your kids?
With kids, he's fine. So we just did a demo at an intermediate school yesterday, and I cut him off the leash. I wasn't holding the leash. He ran around, licked them all. They were putting their hands in his eyes and his ears. He has no issue with it. What was cool too was there was a little girl there that was blind, and that was cool because he's a little excited now. But for a canine, he's pretty even-tempered. He could be all over the place right now. And he was so calm that I could guide her hand on his ears. I guided her hand on his eyes, and I'm, you know, hey, do you feel his wet nose? She was like 5 or 6, but she's completely blind, and I was able to put her hands all over him, which is, I think for most people, they would think you can't do that with a police dog. They literally do. I can tell him to go to the bathroom. They do everything on command. He doesn't go to the bathroom at my house. We'll go find somewhere while we're at work, and I'll tell him to go take a break. I'll tell him to take a break, and he'll go do his business, comes back. So they're incredible. They're always trying to act. This is our last position. We call a place, and a place is just if we're doing a warrant, right? With SWAT or with one of the violent offender warrant units. This is a very safe position, right? He's between my legs. He can't get to you. He can't get to the guy behind me. He can't get to the guy in front of me because his mouth is right here. If he were to bite anybody, it might be my inner thighs. He's not going to do that. Yeah. He's not going to do that. He also knows he can't bite this just yet, right?
Good boy, Yoda.
Does anybody want to pet him?
I'd like to thank the Sheriff's Department for coming out today. We really enjoyed your program. Thank you. And I want to thank all of you for coming out and supporting DCO today. And I look forward to see you next month. Everyone have a great day, have a great weekend.